Is this okay? Yeah. All right. So I'm a fellow neighbor, living here for 13, going on 13 years. My name is Mahmoud Hilton. I am one of, as a matter of fact, can we do something right quick? If any other people of color would like to join me up here, if any other people of color would like to join me that are part of the neighborhood, if anybody else, that person of color who would like to join me up here, my brother, my man. Kobe, come on, baby. All right, folks, I'm the emotional type, so I'm gonna let you know. We're having a moment. This is a moment, y'all. This is a moment. It just is. Let's seize it. Let's let the foundation of it just be love. I grew up in Georgetown. I'm 46 years old. As an African-American child in Georgetown, I had 3, 4 black classmates. When they say, do you see color? I really didn't at that time. It was the time, I would say I was 1980, let's just use 1980. I was 7 years old. I was just a kid growing up. And my parents taught me love, simple as that. They just did. As I grew, I couldn't escape my color. It went with me everywhere I went. But the love did too. So I was able to be cool and loving to my neighbors that aren't my color. All we're asking is for you guys to seize this moment, understand it. We're not asking you to, it's annoying, trust me, I know. Oh, the black people, this, that, the other, I get it. Anything, you can brush your teeth all day and you'll be annoyed, correct? Yes. Anything can be too much. But this is something that we've endured too much of, so here we are, kind of thing. I didn't want to say all this, really, but God, this was just a moment, guys. It hit me. What I asked the what do you call the person that's leading this? The organizer. I asked her to just let me speak because all I really wanted to do was on behalf of my family and these people here to just thank you guys for your support. That's it. And that's all I want to end it with. Thank you for your support. We need you guys in this movement. We can't do it without you. And if you want change, just go with your heart and lead with love. That's it.
Lisa, I think you're next. Lisa.
Good afternoon, Woodmoor.
Hello.
Lisa, get closer.
How's this? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
How's that?
Great.
Wonderful.
All right. My name is Lisa. I've been living in Woodmoor for almost 15 years, and I have to say, I am having a moment because if you had told me when I moved here 15 years ago that I would look out and see all of you in support of something that I've known about for all my life. I am 54 years old, and I have known about this all my life, and to see you all out here, please give yourselves a hand. Woo! Please. But about 3 years ago, I became part of a group called Inclusive Woodmoor, an informal group of neighbors who support our community as a welcoming and safe place for all residents. No matter their age, race, ethnicity, language, nationality, citizenship, culture, economic status and background, gender and gender expression, sexual orientation, religion, political views, abilities, and identity. in pursuing our goals of expanding an understanding of situations that may cause neighbors to feel marginalized, less than, threatened, and respond to circumstances, sometimes like this, that detract from being a neighborhood of inclusion, we are calling on you now, all of us, to come together to address issues of racial bias and the police. While I've managed to avoid any racially charged incidents with the police myself in those 54 years, throughout my life I've heard many, many accounts from my family, from my friends, distressing accounts about the numerous run-ins that they've had with police officers and the numerous documented incidents of police violence that have happened to Black, brown, and Native American people over the decades. My own husband has multiple stories of encounters with police in DC and Montgomery County, where routine traffic stops started with the police yelling in an aggressive and threatening manner. He felt he was the one who had to de-escalate the situation. There is a court case currently pending against a Montgomery County police officer from an incident last year where he was charged with putting his knee on the neck of a man who was in handcuffs, face down on the ground. Even our former county executive, Ike Leggett, has been racially profiled. To address many of these issues, we must take action together. I ask this community, as a community, we should have regularly scheduled discussions with our police to create a consistent dialogue to promote understanding and build positive relationships. Thank you. As a community, we should be educating ourselves about what constitutes a reasonable reason to involve the police. As a community, we should be willing to listen with an open mind and an open heart when a neighbor, any neighbor, expresses concerns about the police. There must be understanding that everyone's experience with the police is not the same. As a community, we need to hold our elected officials responsible for the policies that they put in place around policing and the police officials that they appoint. By the way, know that in the time that I've been speaking is about the time that the Minneapolis police officer had his knee on George Floyd's neck after he'd become unresponsive. Finally, I beg, I implore, I demand, I plead that anyone here who will be 18 and over in November votes. But in 2020, you've got to do more than that. You've got to make sure everybody you know throughout this country, you got to make sure that they vote. And you have to make sure that they vote down the ballot for people who are ready and willing to have police accountability. So Woodmoor, thank you again for surprising this almost 15-year resident. Thank you for your support.